Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. 32 teams, 32 days, and today we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this is not a team that I'm very excited for this upcoming 2019 season. We are not going to have a fun conversation today if you are a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. I'm just not that excited about this team. I don't see the buzz around this team. I don't really get it. Although, yes, this was a Super Bowl contending team only 2 seasons ago, I think they're just far away from that, and I don't think they're going to ascend back to that level anytime soon. But we're going to talk about this team today, talk about its strengths, talk about its weaknesses. I'll give you some bold predictions, some stat predictions, and we'll get out of here with my final win-loss prediction for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So let's go and start positive and talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars' strengths, and let's go and start talking about their defensive line. Oh my goodness, what a defensive line in Jacksonville. We have Josh Allen, the first-round pick out of the University of Kentucky. My goodness, they added this guy to this front that already has Calais Campbell, that already has Yannick Ngakoue, that already has Avery Jones. Man, the defensive line in Jacksonville is looking as stout as ever. And yes, Malik Jackson may be departing, but there's still plenty of talent on this defensive line. It's going to continue to be the main force of this defense, and in conjunction with this next strength, oh, what a scary duo indeed. The next strength is the cornerback position in Jacksonville. We start with Jalen Ramsey, one of my favorite players in the NFL, and yes, this is even coming from a Tennessee Titan fan. I actually wanted us to draft him when we had that #1 pick before we traded away in that 2016 NFL draft, because this guy, I always knew since high school, I had even a feeling that this guy was going to be an absolute beast, and you're seeing that now in the NFL. The most complete cornerback in the NFL. Best cover corner, I won't say that, but most complete in terms of being able to be a force in the run game, being able to set a tone, being able to be a huge nuisance for the offense. Yes, to me, he's the most complete cornerback in the NFL, and he's also very versatile indeed. I love me some Jalen Ramsey. We also have AJ Boye, and that's a #1 cornerback in his own right, and then DJ Hayden as a slot corner right now. Gotta love the cornerbacks in Jacksonville. So with that said, we have to move on to their weaknesses, and I just wrote offense. I have no faith in this Jacksonville Jaguars offense. Okay, maybe just a little bit, but not much faith in this Jacksonville Jaguars offense, okay? Now, there are some positions that are better than others on this offense and could even end up being quite good. So let's start with the running back position, where again, we have Leonard Fournette. And Leonard Fournette is a guy that I loved coming out of the draft too. Coming out of LSU, everyone did. He was huge, he was fast. I mean, this guy had everything that I told you he was gonna be, an absolute beast, superstar running back at the next level, and he hasn't been. 3.9 yards per carry his rookie year. Now, he's still got over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns, but 3.9 yards a carry? Really? And then last year, getting injured, putting up only 3.3 yards per carry. Where is the real Leonard Fournette? Will he please stand up? Now, this guy is currently saying in press conferences and interviews that he's had some things outside of football that have distracted him from the game, and now things are coming together, things are starting to make sense to me, and he says that those things are now out of the way, that those distractions will no longer distract him. We'll see, but Leonard Fournette has not been the Leonard Fournette that he should have been in this league, and you can blame a lot of that on the Jaguars' offensive line, and we'll move there next. Now, there are some promising pieces, as Cam Robinson should be healthy for at least most of this year, but right now, he's not even healthy. Right now, he's still working his way back. Now, we added Juwan Taylor, the offensive tackle out of Florida, and I like him, and I think he's going to come in and do a good job. Now, what position that will be, I don't know. I think right tackle. Maybe he's going to end up having to play left. So we'll have to see about that. Now in the middle, we signed Andrew Norwell from the Carolina Panthers. He's not been as good as he was for the Panthers as he's been for the Jaguars, so that's a very discouraging thing. AJ Ken has been mediocre for years, and Brandon Linder is actually pretty good. But the offensive line, again, they haven't opened up holes for Leonard Fournette. They haven't been consistent in their pass blocking. I don't like the offensive line. The wide receivers, I like D.D. Westbrook. He ain't a #1 wide receiver. He's a #2 nice wide receiver that can play the slot, play the outside, get some nice catches, but he's not a #1. Marquise Lee still working his way back from injury. Same story we've been talking about for years now. I'm done with Marquise Lee. Chris Conley is a number 3 or number 4. He's not a number 2 or number 1. I don't want to have that conversation. And DJ Tark did not impress me as a rookie. So we have a bunch of guys in the wide receiver position, and this tight end position is utter garbage. It's trash. Ben Koyak, Jeff Swaim, James O'Shaughnessy. Who cares? If any one of these guys left the NFL tomorrow, no one would notice, barely anyone would care. The tight ends stink, the running back production has not been there, so I don't care what names you tell me there. The wide receivers, no production nor names are there. And then the quarterback position, Nick Foles. He is Foles gold, people. I'm not buying it. I've never bought it. Yes, he played great during the Super Bowl run. Yes, he played great in that one season under Chip Kelly. The season after that, he struggled. The Eagles got rid of him. He could do nothing for the St. Louis Rams, and then in backup duty, he's been good. But as a starting quarterback in this league, more often than not, Nick Foles has not only not been good, he has stunk. And we're going to see that again as he's going to move from throwing to Alshon Jeffrey and being behind one of the best offensive lines in football to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars in this offense. I have no faith in the offense in Jacksonville. So with that, we move on to my stat predictions for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Quarterback Nick Foles. 3,500 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and 86.0 passer rating. Again, people, I'm not buying it. He could even be worse than this. He could easily be benched, but the only problem is there's really no one to bench him for. Again, just look at that 1 year with the Rams and look at what happened that year after. He had 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, 13 to 10. Year before his first year in the league, like 6 to 5 was his ratio. When he's not a backup, and outside of that one good season, he's not been a good quarterback in this league. Running back Leonard Fournette, 250 carries, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. I do think he will return to rookie form and even beat it. So I think this will be the career-saving year for Leonard Fournette. I do believe him that the distractions are behind him, but he will not be enough for this Jacksonville Jaguars team. And then wide receiver D.D. Westbrook, we have 60 catches, 750 yards, 4 touchdowns, about the same. And I'd even like to put in more than this. But again, they still have Chris Conley there, and they just brought him in, and maybe Marcus Lee actually does play, and maybe he'll take something away from D.D. Westbrook here. But I do like D.D. Westbrook. I actually do, just as a number 2 in this league, not a number 1. Bold predictions for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I kind of alluded to this earlier. The Jaguars will already regret the Nick Foles experiment. I think it's going to last a year and a couple games. I think coming into next year, you guys are going to bring in some competition. You'll still start Nick Foles. You'll probably draft a quarterback. I'll bet that. And then you'll start Nick Foles again after a couple games. All right, we're done with Nick Foles. This contract, we're going to rip it up. It's going to be horrible against the cap, but I'm just not buying into it. I never bought into it. I didn't care if it was the Jaguars, if it was the Vikings, if it was the Titans. If anyone signed Nick Foles, it was going to be a mistake to me, and the Jaguars are the ones that signed up for that mistake. Do not forget Blake Bortles, who had promising years in this league, who led you almost to a Super Bowl. At the end of the day, he still stunk. No matter what type of nice season he can have, where he will even lead you almost to the Super Bowl, the underlying truth is he still stinks. And that's the underlying truth about Nick Foles. And the longer you deny it, the longer you're going to hurt your franchise. Bold prediction number 2. The Jaguars will start 1-5 or 2-4, maybe even 0-6. I look at this Jacksonville Jaguars schedule. You open up hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a difficult matchup. That's a team that a lot of people are picking to win the AFC. You go travel and face the Houston Texans, the AFC South champions. You host the Tennessee Titans, a team that you've not beaten now for like 3 seasons. You then go face the Denver Broncos in Denver. You face the Carolina Panthers in Carolina, and you host the New Orleans Saints. Now, I think the Broncos and the Panthers are the middle of the league, so it wouldn't shock me if you beat them, but they're right where you are. I mean, even if you are a Jaguars fan and you think you're going to compete for the playoffs, you probably think the same about the Panthers, and you probably can at least admit going to Denver is not an easy thing to do. So this is not an easy start to the schedule. I see a 1-5 or 2-4 start to this schedule. And then bold prediction number 3, the Jaguars barely improve on last year, if at all. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. I think Nick Foles with this offense, I'm not sure what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to move the football consistently. The defense is still going to be great. And it was great last season. And it ended up with the Jaguars going from a 3-1 record to finishing 5-11. And again, with this schedule, okay, with the Jaguars starting as poor as I think that they will start, they're going to give up quicker than they did last year. So best case scenario, I'm wrong. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are able to find the magic that they had 2 seasons ago, where they only went, by the way, 10-6. It's not like they went like 12-4. They still had plenty of regular season losses. 2 to the Tennessee Titans. I'm sure 1 to the Colts, 1 to this team, 1 to that team, because even at their best, they're gonna lose games. Worst case scenario, 4-12. It could be worse than last year. It really could. People are assuming that Nick Foles is going to give you better than Blake Bortles' production. I don't know why. Because Nick Foles has not thrown for 35 touchdowns in one season. Blake Bortles has. Blake Bortles offers you that type of prolific quarterback play. Nick Foles doesn't really offer you that. So let's hold on before we say that. My prediction, 6-10, 1 game improvement. I'm sorry, I'm just not buying it. And we're getting lower and lower into this 32 teams and 32-day series, and I have to start being a little strict when it comes to some of these teams, and I just don't buy into this offense. I don't see how they're going to move the football consistently. I think they're going to quit early like they did last year. Last year they didn't quit early. They quit in the middle of the season. Now they're going to quit earlier, and I think later in the season they're probably going to pick things back up and try to get some contract years in for Jalen Ramsey, not this upcoming season, but the next, and then Myles Jack and some others. So look, there are some things to like here. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not buying it. Sorry, I'm just not buying it today. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.